What if I told you that your US passport, the one sitting in your drawer right now, is secretly a key to living in another country for up to a full year, completely legally, with zero paperwork, zero visa appointments, and zero lawyers? Because the US passport quietly gives you access to long-term stays in countries most people have never even considered. No forms, no embassy, no stress. Here are the 4 best ones in 2026. Country number 1 is the one that always makes people do a double take. Georgia, not the US state, the country, sitting right where Europe ends and Asia begins, ancient, stunning, and almost completely off the radar of mainstream travel. Here is the number that matters. 365 days, 1 full year, visa-free for Americans. You land in Tbilisi, they stamp your passport, and you are legally allowed to stay for an entire year without a single piece of paperwork. That is not a loophole, that is Georgian law, and it applies to US passport holders specifically. Now here's what Tbilisi actually looks like to live in, because this is the part nobody tells you. Cobblestone streets that look like they belong in a fairy tale, rooftop wine bars with views over the old city, sulfur bathhouses that have been running since the 5th century. A food culture so good that people fly in from across Europe just to eat here for a weekend. And the cost? A 1-bedroom apartment in the city centre runs $300 to $600 a month. A full sit-down meal at a local restaurant and Georgian food is extraordinary costs, $5 to $10. A taxi anywhere in the city is rarely more than $5. The expat community is real, the internet is solid, and in Tbilisi specifically, English gets you further than you'd expect. Georgia doesn't feel like a budget destination, it feels like a cheat code. A European quality of life at a fraction of a European price with a full year to settle in, and most Americans still haven't even heard of it. Country number 2 is the one closest to home, and for a lot of Americans, that matters more than anything else. Mexico gives you 180 days on arrival. Automatically, no visa. They hand it to you when you land. But here's what makes Mexico genuinely different from every other country on this list. You can drive there. You can fly there for $150 round trip from half the states in the country. You can go back for Thanksgiving and come back in January. The psychological barrier of moving abroad almost disappears because home is never actually far away. Now, where do Americans actually go? 3 places dominate. Mexico City, one of the greatest cities on earth. World-class restaurants, museums, nightlife, history, and rent in neighborhoods like Roma Norte. $600 to $900 a month. For a global capital. That number should embarrass every major American city. Oaxaca if you want slow mornings, colonial streets, and food so good it has UNESCO cultural heritage status. Costs drop even further here. Playa del Carmen or Tulum, for the people who want to be warm and near the ocean. Busier, slightly pricier, but still nowhere close to Miami. One honest heads up for 2026. Mexico has started enforcing border-run resets more strictly. Treat your 180 days as 180 days. If you want to stay longer, Mexico's temporary resident visa is your natural next step, and it's straightforward. But for a first move abroad, Mexico is the softest landing you will find anywhere in the world. Country number 3 is the one that surprises people the most, because it doesn't look like it should be on a list like this at all. Panama, 180 days, visa-free on arrival. But that's not even the interesting part. Walk around Panama City and your brain gets confused. There's a skyline that looks like Miami, modern highways, shopping malls, world-class hospitals, and then you look at your receipt after dinner and it says $12 for 2 people including drinks, and you remember you're not in Miami. Here's the practical detail that changes everything for Americans specifically. Panama runs entirely on the US dollar, not a local currency that's pegged to the dollar. The actual dollar. Your money is your money. No exchange rate math. No watching conversion apps. You land and your bank account works exactly like it does at home. Panama City costs more than the rest of this list. A one-bedroom runs $700 to $1,200 a month. But what you're getting for that price is genuinely first-world infrastructure at below first-world prices. And for anyone thinking longer term, Panama's Friendly Nations visa is one of the most straightforward paths to legal residency available to Americans anywhere in the world. Panama is not just a place to visit, it's a place to actually build something. And number 4 is the one with the most buzz right now, and the buzz is completely deserved. Colombia gives Americans 90 days visa-free, extendable online for another 90. That's 6 months, no embassy, no appointments. And the extension process is done from your couch. But let me tell you specifically about Medellin, because this city has done something almost no city in the world has managed to do. It completely reinvented itself. 20 years ago, you wouldn't have considered it. Today, it is one of the most talked about expat destinations on Earth. And once you understand why, it makes total sense. The city sits at 5,000 feet, which means the temperature is 72 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Every day, year-round. They call it La Ciudad de la Eterna Primavera, the city of eternal spring. No summer AC bills, no winter heating costs, just perfect weather. Every single day for free. A one-bedroom apartment in El Poblado, the main expat neighborhood, runs $500 to $800 a month. A full lunch at a local restaurant costs $3 to $5. Healthcare is excellent and a fraction of US prices. Direct flights connect from Miami, New York, Atlanta. One honest note, Colombia has transformed enormously on safety, but like any big city, being street smart matters. Use registered apps for transport, stick to established neighborhoods when you're new, and you will be completely fine. Medellin is not a compromise. It is genuinely one of the best cities in the world to live in right now, and Americans are figuring that out fast. 4 countries, 4 completely different lives, all of them open to you right now with nothing more than a valid US passport.